Hello, welcome, good morning. I have my herbal tea here on the side and I'm ready to draw in pastels. So what have we got today? We have this beautiful landscape, seascape. There's a little bit of sea visible. I'll paste that picture in here. So it's West Witterings in West Sussex, my favorite location. I know you probably heard it before me talking about it over and over, and I take my photography clients there as well. In fact, I have just finished editing beautiful family shoot from there. So it's really close to my heart. I love going there. It's amazing. And fun fact, Kate Winslet has her massive house there. So if she knows what to choose, it's a good place. Anyway, let's me talking and let's get to painting bit. So I'm using today this paper. It's my favorite paper for pastels. It has a very subtle texture, a bit like a honeycomb. And I actually took this page A4 and cut it half, so it's not that huge. I just prefer to draw on A5 size. It has lovely tones, except maybe from that green, apple green. It's like, oh, not sure, but I have to use it eventually. These are gorgeous. And this one, and what else we got? Yeah, I think grey as well. Grey, kind of like a beige, grey, green. This is like a pearl inside of a pearl. You know where the pearl lives. This is more like a beige. And that one I'm using today. So yeah, that's the paper. It's from Daler Rowney. It's Murano pastel neutral colors, and it's not very expensive. I like it because it's a nice decent paper and you don't have to pay fortune to actually use it. As for pastels, I'm using this KOH-I-NOOR set of 48. I love it. It is very soft. They are very soft, lovely colors. I really enjoy using those. So these are going to be like a base sort of purpose, and these are for more for details. These are my Faber-Castell Pitt pastel pens, and I love these. These are nice as well. So this is my combo for today. I'll put them here so it's going to be easier. Use that way. Everything's set up, and I have one more, which is a lovely single special. It's like an engagement ring. Would you marry me? Sure. With this pastel. And this is beautiful. It's just like a sunny day, blue, very, very soft. It's from Jackson's, and you can buy like a single ones from there. It's great. And I thought I'll try it out because I'm not rich enough to buy myself senneliers. They're just too expensive for what I do, and this is what I can afford. And that's still, it's gonna work fine. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to take one of those kind of maybe dark blue pencils and start marking slightly where I want things to be. So I'm taking kind of step back from my picture, reference picture, and I'm kind of assessing what I can change, what I could do. But I kind of like the way it's lie down, so just not exactly in half. Kind of a little bit above and over. Very, very sketchy, very loose. I'm holding my pencil right here at the end. It's not pencil, it's one of the pastel, and making that tip here. And then we have a little bit of land right here, and then the sea kind of here, and that's it. What else we have? A little landmark and make it a little bit more exciting. There's one here, and they kind of join here, and that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Let's just mark it. It's going to be like a really lot of grass. Anywhere else that needs to be kind of darkened, I can use that pencil. It's fine. again, my style, I prefer to use loose lines, changing things. I'm not excited about realism too much. I appreciate it's incredible when people do it right. You know, hat off to them, amazing. It's just not my cup of tea. Not something that makes my heart racing. And this is the very final, very beginning kind of stage I would go for. I can go a little bit more with this one. And you know, the good thing is we don't have to worry too much about the sand, because this is the color of our background. So it's like underpainting has served us right, choosing this color. But I'm not worrying too much about creating like a single little bits, because we're going to use under kind of painting first with those chunky ones. And I'm going to start with, so I have to be quite strategic what I'm doing. This is important element here between land, this dune, and between sky, because I want to make sure there's a subtle kind of change before I start adding things to it, like a final pieces. Let me just see if I can see you. Yeah, if you can see in the screen, that's fine. So we're going to start with kind of laying very basic blue here. So I'm not pressing too hard, just a little bit. And what is amazing about pastels is that they are so vibrant. It's literally the pigment in the stick. You haven't got anything else there. That's why you needed good paper to let this stick onto something. Because if you have, for example, watercolors, you have your pigment and you have binder that allows this to kind of stick into the canvas. What I like to do is add a little bit variation of colors. So I don't like to stick exactly to the same. And I'm going with this beautiful little shades. Sorry, I'm struggling to talk and draw, so you have to forgive me that. Moving my sleeves so it's not gonna smudge things. And now with the finger, make sure your finger's clean, so that's where my little wet cloth comes handy. And I'm just kind of pushing. It's only damp, it's not very wet, so it's easy to get my fingers nice and dry again. With a dry finger, I'm kind of smudging things over. And the good thing is that you can mix those colors. So if you have a decent amount of colors, you can make even more. Okay, that's great. And let's do that darker sky. Darker, I mean more chroma, more saturation. Right here, and it kind of blends nicely with the one here. But it's not going to be exactly sunny blue skies all the way. We're going to add that soft one, that single one I have prepared. And with the sticks, you can kind of work that way, or you can work at the end. You can do it either way. Going over again. So this paper can take quite a lot of that pastel dust in. Make sure you're kind of finishing the edges so it has a nice sharp finish. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit more this shade here, just to kind of make it different tones. And that's what's wonderful about pastels, those unexpected little changes that you don't even know they're there, but they are very pleasing to eye. And I'm layering lighter again, so you can go light, dark, dark, light. It's fine. this cloth is great to have on the side, otherwise I'll have to run to the bathroom every time, wash my hands. And you see it's getting more and more kind of soft to work with it. Okay, where is that finishing? Okay, that's the C. Right, am I good? Have I not gone far enough? That's the land, that's the sea. Okay, that's fine. I was just looking, where's that finishing? Because then it's quite tricky to replicate exactly the same colour. Let me just add a little bit of that turquoise. I love turquoise. That used to be my furniture. I had this massive kind of, I don't know how to call it. It's a wall of furniture. I grew up in Poland. Against my wall, and it was all that color, painted that color. I loved it so much. It was quite overwhelming if you stepped into the room, but it worked. It actually looked quite good. It's really nice. Let's add a little bit more of that cool blue. What I would suggest is once in a while set up maybe schedule if you want to improve. Set up schedule when you're just completely experimenting and you let yourself make mistake, and this is the kind of piece you're never gonna show to anybody, and it's okay. It's just for you, and you can totally put it in a bin if you don't like it at the end. And that allows you to grow, because if you just expect, oh, I need to create a masterpiece every single time, it's really, you know, that can really make you feel the pressure. The pressure's huge for something like this. So now we're going to kind of create those clouds, because this piece of painting is up the top, so we're not worried we're going to smudge it when we work on our dune. That's okay. So I'm going to use those 2 greys. I have actually 4 greys in this set, which is fantastic for, you know, they really know what artists need. That might be too dark though. I think I'm going to use those 2. Those two, yeah. Moose grey and a light grey. They all have names. I haven't even noticed that. I just take them by what they look like. And very gently we're going to start this mid grey and kind of light grey, and just start building here, because that's what is on our image. And like I said, I'm not completely faithful to what I see, but it's nice to have it. It clouds in because they're interesting. If you just put a very blue sky, unless you haven't got anything exciting going on here, it can be a little bit boring. So the way I'm tapping is very gently, kind of moving things over. And building up, and a little bit more. And we're going to use a little bit darker as well. Not too much, because we don't want this to be overpowering. And now going over again. And a little bit kind of darker, and even a little bit kind of purpley. I do like, my granddad was painter. He wasn't professional, but very good amateur. He used to paint in oils, and he always kind of added purple to his clouds, and I like that. It reminds me of him. He's sadly no longer with us, but I still have his paintings, and I like to get inspired by him. A bit lighter purple. And that gives it a little bit more interest. Great. So we have that one done, this cloud. Now we can grab white. Very clean. Make sure you clean it off with a cloth, so there's no residue of anything else before. And the way I do it is kind of moving my crayon, my pastel like that. Again, it's gonna take a few takes to get that nicely how I want it. I'm gonna use my pinky, the smallest guy in my hand. Some of it I'm smudging, some of it I'm leaving, so it has that sharpness. Oh, there's a great little bit left. Kind of mixed up with this grey, so kind of like it like that. You can add a little bit more if you want of that grey. That contrast looks gorgeous on this very blue sky, so just like that, and you've got your sky ready pretty much. I would be even quite tempted to put a little like a peachy colour there on those highlights and things. Sometimes unexpected colours make the picture just pop. Just think about what can you see in that image. Little look for colour kind of areas. Okay, so that's looking good. We lost a little bit of where that line was. We can reinstate it. I'm going to use this maybe kind of brown. So in the distance we have this line. Where is it? Because I can't see it. So that's the land. Let's make that kind of here very lightly, because it's in the distance and we want to keep that perspective. What is it called? Aerial perspective. Basically things that are in the far back you're making a bit more faint, less saturated, just like a hint of it, and that is very beautiful, very delicate. It's going to make your eye very happy to see that, rather than a very strong line. Well, I don't know, that's my personal choice. Maybe you prefer doing it differently. And a different color, just to, this is using my pit pastels, by the way. I don't think they have numbers. They have numbers rather than names, and some sort of stars rating as well. I think that's how durable they are. Over here is light fastening from right, so that's good. And then it's another layer, just kind of like a beigey green, very subtle. I like that. Just adds a little bit more detail, but hint of it. it has a tiny little bit of white spots and bits, so I'm gonna place those in. Great. And it's kind of layers, few different layers of blue, and this blue is different shade. Although I did do a different shade than the picture of my image. I want that to be more dull, kind of darker. Where is that color? What are you? It's something like that. It's, oh no, that one's broken. Haven't got my little knife on me. Oh, should I do it? And you get a lesson how to sharpen pastel. Yeah, okay, I'll show you then. I'm just gonna use the old palette for little bits. It's a bit nerve-wracking because it's a little knife and you think, oh, I don't want to cut my fingers. But you just always away from you and just put, you're controlling the pressure quite nicely. So pop, and then kind of go up a little bit. It's quite a nice soft wood. The better quality pastels, the better wood it's going to have to do that. I'd love to know where did that tree grow. Where does it come from? What type of tree is it? So I'm just scratching close to get that point a little sharper, but that's fine. See, that's done. Going to put that away. So it's just a knife I got from like a DIY shop. Now it's ready to do that. See, hope it's not going to snap because that will be a nightmare. And I'm trying to hold it straight because it's water. It's going to be straight, totally horizontal. It's a different one. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it like that because it's picking too much. I'm going to choose one of my colors here. And again, with these colors, even though they're soft, some of them a little bit more hard than the others. Not all of them are super smooth, to be honest. And let's use that grey to dull it down a bit. Okay, I don't want to go too far. Probably lost that already where it's supposed to be. And where's that peach going to be? Sand bit. It's great to mix the colours so it's not exactly the same blob. And just with my finger I'm smudging it, making nice. So if you've gone too far, you think, oh, that's not good, you can use some of the pastels, take the eraser quite well. You see, I got rid of that here. I tend not to do that and just layer things rather than erasing, but in desperate measures it does work. Which is, you wouldn't do that with paint probably. Let's get back to fixing that little area. Give definition, just a touch. So satisfying to do that. I really enjoy that. I missed it and I didn't even know I missed it. I had it on my mind to do for ages, to do the video on the pastels. I did it last night. I drew one picture and said, oh, it's actually turned out okay, better than I thought. And I thought, I wish I recorded that. I'll have to record it again. So that's why I'm doing it today. But it's fine. It's, you know, I learned some things yesterday and I thought, oh, I'll do that differently. It's very beneficial. It does sound like a tedious task to do something ever again. But actually, that's how you learn the most. Okay, that looks fine. I'm not crazy about that colour, but okay. Now we're going to our dunes. So that's probably going to disappear in a second. Let's choose our main colour. This is the olive ochre. And I'm just going to use side of this pastel and do here and there. It's not completely covering the whole thing because we want some of that paper to peek through as well, because it's a perfect color of that sand. And now all the browns, I'm operating dark ochre now. I'm just thinking, where is that gonna go? Where's that light gonna hit? I'm thinking, what nice different colors can I combine? And I love, this is my favorite one, two of my favorite, reddish orange. This one, that one I had earlier, light orange, and coral red. Coral red is so gorgeous, especially on portraits. Just they have such a gorgeous pigment, guys. It's just very nice. But if you start putting everywhere, it loses its power, if that makes sense. So, oops! Oh no! Oh, I was lucky. Almost ruined it with a wet cloth. Just making a little bit here and there. And white. I think we need to put loads of white here to lighten it up. I'm going to start smudging. This is where the fun begins. So smudge, smudge, smudge. Quite expressive painting comes up from it. I love that one. It's just so nice. Yeah, the only problem is I kind of lost idea where was what in terms of the composition of this grass. So we get there. Okay, and a little bit more of light ochre. It's just, I'm not even overthinking it. It's just, now I'm looking at those main areas of the sand, trying to bring them back. But that's what I love, those variations of colors that are very satisfying to look at later, and that's what's going to work. Corners, because you would hate when you open that and there's like a empty bit, bold bit. Right, so we got our dune. Now it's time to add on the little grass, and I'm going to go back to my pen, just a dark green pencil, pick pastels, and trying to figure out where I want things to be. So these are going to be the thick grasses. Okay, that's gonna be like that. Where is this bit? It's hints and not really areas exactly. Roughly, we want to keep that. Okay, so this is that dark one. There's a bit of a, that's very dark. I need to loosen up my hand, holding like that. The season and Witterings have now, I think, finished because it's autumn in here in UK, and you can definitely feel this coldness. Okay, so this is our kind of sketch of what we're doing. There's going to be more here, but I want to keep that whiteness, some of it, so it looks like a wispy tops of that grass, if that makes sense. Now we're going to use our what colors are they? The grass is all in the really warm tones, so I don't want anything that is dark. These are the colors I want to use. What is that? Lime green, probably olive, dark olive green, and maybe this one as well, which is apple green. And these are all kind of warm tones rather than dark green. This one is like a really bluey cool color. We don't want that. And just adding a little bit here and there. That should go on my t-shirt. Here and there. Hints of things. It does look a little bit messy at the moment, but don't worry. And then going mid. Sometimes I kind of almost like squint my eyes and see what areas I need to do in this particular color or lightness or darkness. Let's just brush it a little bit. Give it a little softness between that sand and plants. Where else is that? There's a little hint of those light ones in some areas, but not everywhere. Not everywhere. Okay, let's not forget there is a little bit of a green area there as well, which is less saturated, so I'll be looking at darker, something like that. Ever so gently, not even the whole thing, just a tiny bit. And smudge it a little bit and go over it again. That's good. Oh my gosh, I have to check my face before I leave the house, because it's incredibly easy to get yourself covered in pastel dust on the face, especially that I put my cream on this morning. Okay, I'm gonna break the rule a little bit and use this one just to give odd stroke. There you go. I'm just smudging a little bit again. And I want to add a little bit of kind of pink, that salmony pink. not too much. Now it's time to add dark bits to it, and don't be afraid, that will give definition and it will make this pop a little bit. Otherwise it will be very wishy-washy. We have quite a lot of these darker single ones right here. Whoops. If you want really sharp point, you can use a special sanding paper and just do that, but I don't mind. Do I like it? Not enough green there. Okay. We're just going to add a couple more bits, and we need white pastel for that. I'm going to put that teeny tiny little boat there. Okay. lighter here. A little darker in the background, again that dark blue. I think blues are usually quite hard to use. They're harder. I don't know if it's something to do with pigment, I don't know. Might have overdone it now. Oh, if I have a smaller finger, I think I need to get those tools, that silicone little wiping things. Okay, that's fine. It's quite dark though in that area. I need to make it a little lighter. It's quite thick and dark. I love how those little wispies are here. Oh, just make it dirty. Do it from top and clean the I love this contrast of green and beautiful kind of ochre pencil. Let's give it a little pops. Something really light. And this is unusual because this is kind of pink. And this is interesting because this is kind of like very dark plum, and this will give us pop. this is what's gonna give him pop. And there's any short shadow areas, add a few of these. So if you look at this grass, it has a lot of warmth, but it has a little pops of kind of orange, and that's what makes it just great. Okay, I think this is done, guys. So I'll do that. I'll use my fixative, and it's time to unveil it. Satisfying when that tape comes off. Didn't really clear. There we go, ready work. Hope you enjoy that. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. Let me just show you the version I did last night, and I didn't record. That's the one, and that's the one tonight, today. Let me know which one you prefer. I don't know, I think I like the new one. I like the lightness and the old one. Maybe I'll put a little bit over. Oh yeah, that's good. So you see, you can always learn something, and it's good to practice. It's good to have a second go. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.